What's going on, everybody? This is ODC, that's me, and I'm back with another action figure review. This is my review of the DC Collectibles DC Universe animated movie line, the Justice League War action figures. This is Shazam! 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 Sorry. Yeah, I saw this figure, and as y'all know, Shazam is one of my favorite DC characters. Growing up, was a big fan. I'm sure you all know the story by now if you've been watching my channel for long enough. Yeah, he looks great. This is some really nice packaging. It does come in this different type of clamshell packaging, much different from the DC Collectibles that we've been getting. It's not in the box form. This is more of a clamshell. So on the side here, you have a picture of Shazam from the movie. Let's bring that in. There you go. And it just says basically the same amount of information on here. Obviously, he's figure number 5 in the wave, and there's 5 figures in the wave. So there you go. On the back, these are the other figures in the wave. You have the Flash, Superman, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, and Shazam. Sorry, I was trying to go in order for number. But the overall, I don't know, the wave does look good. I think it's, you know, animated figures they're tough because they could either look absolutely phenomenal or way off. I think this is it's weird because it's like, I really want to like this wave overall, just from looking at the pictures here. Now, I don't have each figure individually. I only have Shazam right now, but I think Green Lantern looks really good. I think the Flash looks really good. Still on the fence about these two. I think he looks good enough, Superman. I'm still really on the fence with this Wonder Woman. I can't tell if, I don't know, something's off about it. I just don't know. But anyway, let's get Shazam out of the package, take a closer look at him, and I'll be right back. Okay, and we're back with Shazam out of packaging, and yeah, I mean, definitely these figures could have used a little bit more of articulation. They are in dire need of an upper thigh swivel badly. Let me just say that right off the bat. My guy's a little bit back heavy, but I mean he'll stand. He just looks a little awkward when he stands, and if you tap him, he falls over. Yeah, so there's a couple of things that I could definitely point out that's wrong with this figure, but I'll save that, and let's hit up the good stuff first. Overall, I don't really mind the face sculpt. I think it's, you know, it's not 100% accurate to what the movie looked like, because in the movie, he basically looked like this. And he doesn't really look like that in the figure form. But, I mean, they did the best they could, I guess. Like I said, it's kind of tough to do a animated look, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. Or that's what you would call it, but yeah, I think this figure is just in dire need. But overall, like I said, let me just hit up the good parts. The good parts are the paint is it's pretty well done. I don't really have a problem with it. There's no chipping or anything like that. There's a couple gold paint flakes on the back of his white cape. Maybe there's just one that was just another piece of, it was just some dust. But there's just one gold flake right there, which could be, but this is, I mean, obviously that's gonna rub off, but there's more over here. There's a lot of dust on this guy. I don't really have a problem with the hood not being up. I actually kind of prefer his hood being down. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the hood thing with him. I don't know. Some people like it. Some people love it. I guess I'm kind of indifferent when it comes to his hood. But I would prefer his hood to be down. I think he just looks a little bit better with it down. I think he's a decent figure. I really, you know, he really could have used a little bit more of articulation. It wouldn't have hurt. They still are using the clear peg joints in the crotch there. I'm not just trying to zoom in on his crotch there. But they are still using the clear plastic joints, so be careful even with these figures. Now let's get into places of improvement here. What they could have done. His symbol should have been sculpted, his belt should have been sculpted, his boots should have been sculpted, along with his wrist gauntlets. They should have been sculpted. I'm not sure why they opted to not do that. Obviously, probably save some cost, but still, I mean, you could have made this figure a lot better than what it is. I mean, I just feel like it's a repaint. So a little bit of a letdown there. There is one peg hole at the bottom of the feet. I didn't point that out, sorry. He also has something on his cheek. I'm not sure what that is. Maybe it's some sort of defect or something. It's right on his cheek. I don't know. Maybe it's just part of the plastic. Maybe I'm just going nuts. Probably going nuts. But anyway, the articulation's pretty, I mean, it's decent. It's just kind of awkward, and I'm not really sure. I was messing around with his wrists, and I'm not sure if he has a wrist swivel, and I don't know. It's really stiff. I'm assuming it's there because there's a cut joint there, but it doesn't want to move. So that's awkward. But as far as his articulation goes, his head does move side to side and can do a full 360. His head does look up about that much, and it does look down about that much, so decent range of motion there. He does have also the tilt effect in the head. His arms go, and I'm going to be gentle with this guy because I know he's got clear plastic joints, goes up about that far and goes down. He can, if you manipulate the cape, you can do a full 360 rotation in the arm. He's got a bicep swivel, single bend at the elbow, which is a little bit under 90 degrees. He also has an elbow swivel, which is kind of redundant if you have a bicep swivel here. I don't know, that's just me. I'm assuming he has a wrist swivel. Mine's just really stiff, but it is there. No waist swivel, no ab crunch of any kind, which is kind of a letdown. But he does have these T-jointed hips which go out and they kind of go forward. I guess you kind of have to swivel the thigh a little bit for them to go forward, and they do go back about that far. He does have a single bend at the knee and no ankle articulation either. Yeah, I'm not sure why they decided not to give him at least a upper thigh swivel. Would have been nice if you didn't give him ankle articulation, because his ankle's kind of he just kind of wants to stand here like this, and he looks kind of awkward. So if you get him in a dynamic pose, he doesn't really want to, I don't know. I always like it when the feet are flush with my action figures. It just, I don't know, it just looks really awkward when the feet are poking out like that on the sides. They could have at least given him an ankle pivot. If they just gave him an ankle pivot, I think it would have fixed him, and they gave ankle pivots with the other figures, so I think either an upper thigh swivel or an ankle pivot, most likely an ankle pivot, would have done much better, would have done wonders for this figure. Like I said, my guy's a little bit back heavy because of the sculpting of the hood on his cape, but not too bad. Like I said, if I could fix this figure and it was up to me, I would have sculpted his chest symbol, his belt, his gauntlets, and his boots, and then given him an ankle pivot, and then he would be all set, I think, pretty much. I think then he would be much better. I would have got rid of the elbow swivel and given him a thigh swivel, and I think that's really all he needs as far as improvement-wise. But overall, I think he's a pretty decent figure. This line, like I said, obviously they're trying to cut costs with this line. I think trying to push it out for the movie. Even though the movie came out a couple months ago, a few months ago actually, back in January. But still, I thought the movie was pretty decent. It was definitely fun to watch. Lots of action. If you haven't checked it out, you should probably check it out, especially if you're a DC animation fan. Like I said, from the back, looking from the back of this card, I really like the way Shazam looks, his overall look. I like his, it's accurate to what he's wearing right now, this kind of darker red color. Gives him the more modern look. But I really think that Green Lantern might look the best out of this wave. I'll have to pick up Green Lantern, but I'm probably going to try and pick up this whole wave. The reason why there's no Batman in this wave is because he's coming out later with a Damian figure from the Son of Batman, so Son of Batman's going to have its own wave. So that's why they didn't include Batman in this wave. So if you're wondering that, that's why. So, would I recommend this figure? If you're a Shazam fan, yes. If you're a animated figure fan, and there's a lot of animated figure collectors out there, then I would say, yeah, sure. I mean, I think he's pretty decent looking. Let me just get in close on the face again, just so you guys can see. Focus. There we go. Like I said, it's not the most accurate, but I mean, you can definitely tell that it's animated, inspired. Definitely with the hair and the face and focus camera, jeez. So you can definitely tell that. But I mean, I kind of like this figure. Sure, I mean, it needs improvement, but no figure is perfect, I guess. I still think he looks pretty good, and I'm happy to have him, part of my collection. Like I said, I'm going to pick up the other figures in the wave eventually. But yeah, I mean, I guess I would recommend him if you're, I mean, if you're not an animated figure fan, then I'm not going to recommend it to you. If you're a DC collector that wants a lot of articulation, then I'm not going to recommend this figure. But if you don't care and you want an animated Shazam figure, or you're a Shazam fan, I would say pick this guy up, hands down. So there you go with that. Use that for with what you will. But that's pretty much it for Shazam here. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you for watching as always, and I will see you guys on the flip side.